Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Friday, the final day of our working week. But you'd hope certainly not the final day of Arsenal's working week, because we are only 3 days away now. 4 days, I suppose, away now from the end of the transfer window on Monday evening, and still no incomings at Arsenal. But we've had another outgoing. Real shock one last night. Calum Chambers out of nowhere. That deal announced. He'd joined Aston Villa on a permanent deal, 3.5-year contract for Calum Chambers at Aston Villa. Not often a deal like that goes through at Arsenal without anyone knowing about it first, but that was absolutely out the blue, totally under the radar, and just bang announcement. Very similar to the one Aston Villa did earlier in the season, well, in the summer, wasn't it, when they signed Danny Ings? That was just out of nowhere. And in this modern day of transfers and football and social media, it is really, really rare that happens. And it's just an interesting one as well. It just, for me, and just personally, in my opinion, it just looks really odd again for Arsenal. And look, I know Calum has not been in Mikel Arteta's plans this season, just as Pablo Mari wasn't, just as Ainsley Maitland-Niles really wasn't. But it's just another player out the squad, and the squad is just looking really sweet. At the moment, you think about it, Arsenal ended the last batch of games after that Burnley game. Tomiyasu was injured, Cedric was injured. So basically, Arsenal, if those two are still injured after they come back from this mid-season break, which you hope they won't be, but if they are, Arsenal have got no right back. They've let Calum go. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has gone. It's just remarkable, really, when you think about it. For a team that's pushing for a top 4 spot and have given themselves a really good chance of getting themselves a top 4 spot, you kind of think, you go into the January window and it's almost like, right, shall we just push the boat out and really strengthen ourselves to make sure we can get in the top 4? But Arsenal have done the exact opposite. They've let a lot of players go. Obviously, they hadn't been big parts of Mikel Arteta's plans in terms of playing regularly. When you look at Ainsley, Pablo Mari, Balogun, Chambers now, those type of players, they're not big players who are playing a lot of minutes, but they're still an option in the squad if you need it. And Arsenal, when you factor in the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang situation as well, which is no sooner to be about being resolved, the squad, when you go back to, say, December the 1st, before the whole Aubameyang situation came to light, so before Arsenal went to Everton and played the Man United game as well, the squad now is so much weaker than it was then. When you take Aubameyang out, you take the players out who have been let go, it just feels really, really risky. I mean, there is still 4 days to go. We know that. Arsenal are still working to try and get some deals done. There's still a chance they might bring in midfielder, bring in a striker. They are working to do that. But, I mean, the clock is ticking, and if it doesn't happen, then it just feels to me like it's a big, big risk. Like I said, you're just a couple of injuries away from needing these players. And, I've got no problems with a clear out by any means. Arsenal have needed this for a while, and they've been working on it for the last 3 or 4 windows now, and we're getting very close towards the end of that clear out. But for me, you wait until the summer and do it. I think Calum, he can play centre back, he can play right back. He's even an option to play midfield if you need be. And just like Ainsley, another utility player, they can cover a wide range of positions. That just almost just for the sake of barely getting any money. Now, Arsenal haven't announced what, it's gone down as an undisclosed fee for Calum. He was out of contract in the summer. He was going to go. So, but my understanding is basically Arsenal are just going to pocket around sort of 2 million for this, and some of this will just be in saved wages as well. So it's just a pittance, really, when you look at how much Arsenal make and everything. It just feels, surely you just wait till the summer and just let him go. At least have him around the place and have an option in the squad if you need be, if you need be to play him. And it also strengthens Aston Villa, who are, a bit of a rival as well. Villa are certainly on the up at the moment, you would say, under Gerrard, since Gerrard's come in, and it's kind of strengthening the squad of a rival while weakening your own squad. It just for me, it just feels like a really odd, risky decision. And it's not the first one we've seen in this transfer window. Arsenal have paid the price for letting Ainsley Maitland-Niles go at the start of the month, big time. Yeah, I think he would have started all 4 of the last games. It would have stopped him having a change formation as well, because he could have played him alongside Sambi. And I think they've paid the price for that massively, and now they've taken another risk here. So again, it's quite hard to sort of definitively give your opinion on it all until the transfer window shuts, and there is still time in the window to get deals done. And like I said, Arsenal are still working to try and get some deals done. But yeah, it's just ratcheting up the pressure a little bit, I think, on Arteta and certainly on Edu. because there's going to be an awful lot of criticism coming Arsenal's way if this window ends without them strengthening the squad at all. And I think Edu's probably going to get a lot of it, but Arteta is certainly going to get a lot of it as well. And I don't think they've got any. They can't complain when they get hammered if the window does end the way it is now, because they've basically weakened their squad halfway through the season. So it is risky, and that is where we are. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, the reaction on social media has been pretty brutal in the last day or so. There's clearly a lot of unrest at the moment. So let me know what you guys think. Drop me a comment below, and very interesting to see your views on the Calum Chambers deal and the Arsenal transfer window as a whole at this stage. Are you happy to see Calum gone, or do you think, kind of like me, that maybe they should have just had him stick around till the end of the season and let him go there? Transfers wise, unfortunately, there's not much I can give you. I mean, Matt Turner, that deal now is agreed as far as I'm aware, but it's one that looks like it's going to be happening. Well, it is going to be happening in the summer rather than now. So from that you would guess that Bernd Leno's certainly going to stay at Arsenal until the end of the season. Then he'll leave in the summer and Matt Turner will come in. The deal's been agreed with New England Revolutions. He played last night for the US, saved a penalty actually, I think from Nani in that game. I think USA won 1-0. He kept a clean sheet. So yeah, I mean, that's good news for Arsenal. They've got him done, but that's not going to do any good for this season. Like I said, coming at the end of the season. So that one, as I said in the last couple of videos, that always looked like the most likely one to be done, and that's what's happened now. But then what happens in terms of the rest of the window, we'll have to wait and see. Time is running out, and it's down to Edu. Arsenal are over in Dubai right now. Arteta's over in Dubai. Edu and Richard Garlick are still back here at London Colney, and the striker situation doesn't appear, unless something is being kept very, very under wraps, it doesn't appear any closer to being resolved. It's still like the players that we know they like, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, on Alexander Isak, Jonathan David, but nothing has moved forward. They haven't really made a bid for any of those guys yet. It's just interest, and time is running out. So nervy times, I would say, for Arsenal. Personally, I still think if they end this window without bringing in a striker, then you've just absolutely 100% got to bring Aubameyang back into the picture. I just can't. You can't go through the second half of the season being one Alexander Lacazette injury away from having Eddie Nketiah leading your line during a top four push. You just can't. It's a dereliction of duty if they do that, in my opinion. You've just got to go one way or the other. You've got to resolve the Aubameyang situation, bring him back into the fold, patch up this relationship, and get him as another option. I'm not saying start him by any means, but have him as another option. I mean, Arsenal ended against Burnley with Rob Holding up front. If that doesn't say it all, then I don't know what else does. It's a situation that isn't tenable if you're trying to get yourselves in the top four when you're going up against teams like Spurs, who have got Harry Kane, Son, it's just, you've got to have more options than just Lacazette and Nketiah as your central striker. Yes, Martin, and he's there, he can do it, but I think we've all seen so far this season that he's better on the left-hand side anyway. And I think you just have to resolve the Aubameyang situation one way or the other. You can't just have Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah. So there's a lot to happen in the next 4 days. There's going to be huge amounts of speculation, I'm sure. I mean, I can sense the mood on social media is not a happy one, and I completely understand that. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens next when it comes to strikers. The midfielder one is a similar situation. I still wouldn't absolutely rule out Arsenal signing a midfielder. Arthur is, as I've reported before, it's pretty much done. It's just a case of agreeing with Juventus. So far, that hasn't happened, and unless Juventus change their mind, it won't happen. But that is a deal that could potentially be done pretty quickly if the clubs can sort something out, because there's no issue with the player, there's no issue with Arsenal, and the player, he wants to come, he's happy to come. So it'd just be a case of having some sort of breakthrough with Juventus that hasn't come yet. And there are, there's players like Douglas Luiz that have been linked. I mean, I see that Aston Villa have rejected a £30 million bid from someone for him. I don't know if that's Arsenal or not. And I mean, so that just says alone that it's going to cost big money to sign Douglas Luiz if you want to sign him this window, if they're rejecting £30 million bids. it's just all a little bit up in the air. It just feels like a bit of a mess, doesn't it? And that's really, you didn't want that to start the window. You wanted it to be quite a smooth window, I think, and to show kind of like the summer. I felt like Arsenal they were on top of things in the summer when it came to the transfer market. They had a clear plan, they set out to it, and they got the deals done, and it all just felt quite professional, I thought. But this window is just, unless something happens in the next few days, it just feels a bit odd. And that's the only word I can really describe it as. It just feels a bit odd what they've done during this window. But again, I have to caveat that by saying we have to wait until Monday night and 11 o'clock on Monday night, because there is still time to get things done. It's tough to judge a window until the window's shut, because things can happen at the last minute. We know that. But let me know what you guys think. What do you want to see happen in the next 4 days? And if nothing happens, who is to blame? How angry will you be? Let me know. And I will go through all of those comments as and when they arrive. Elsewhere, there's not too much report Arsenal-wise. Like I said, they are in Dubai at the moment doing their warm weather training camp. Haven't really seen anything from Arsenal yet on the socials from that. They have got someone going over from the video team. So I expect we will see some training clips, that sort of thing, at some point soon from Dubai. But that training camp officially started yesterday. The team flew out. Quite a few youngsters out there. I saw Charlie Patino's out there. There's a few others as well, along with the first team squad. And like I said, even some injured players have gone out there because Arteta just wants everyone together, and it's a bit of a squad building exercise as well as just a training camp. He wants to sort of have people just kind of connecting, if you see what I mean. I think Nicolas Pepe is due to go over there as well after Ivory Coast were knocked out of the African Cup of Nations, and Arteta's just really, really keen to get the whole squad together. They get back on Wednesday from that training camp. Then they're going to have a behind closed doors friendly probably at the weekend. The following weekend, there's talk that is going to be against Reading, Championship side Reading, so that'll be interesting if it does happen. I'm not sure if it's going to be at Colney yet or at Bearwood, which is Reading's training ground in Wokingham, just down the road from me actually. So we'll have to wait and see. A couple of youngsters I think might well be going out between now and Monday for Arsenal, maybe a couple of loans. I think Alabuisi sounds like he's on his way to Crewe, possibly. Alabuisi's been on the bench the last couple of first team games for Arsenal, a young right back, so that's one to keep an eye on. But other than that, it's all just a little bit quiet at the moment. Hopefully that all changes and we really start to move forward, because just like you, I am very, very keen to see Arsenal strengthen in this window, because they've given themselves such a good chance of getting themselves in the top four. It would be awful to see them throw it away by mismanaging this January transfer window. All right, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time. As always, please do head over to my social channels throughout the next few days and to Goal as well. And any news that I do get, I will bring you straight away on those. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a very good Friday. I'll speak to you soon.